Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, happy Monday. Welcome to another market open stream. Today we're starting out with a gigantic news about Saylor and a historic buy. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how this week will go. This is Thanksgiving week for those of us in the US. So it may be a little bit different, lighter volume, but when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto, we never have any days, any weeks off. So let's talk about how it's going to go. And also let's talk about several crypto altcoins, how they're pumping, how they're shaping up this week. And let's talk about some market news as well. There are a lot of things to talk about today. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Let's get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's do this. We're starting out the day at 97.4, and the George effect is kicking in already. It was just at 97.1, just when I get started. We go up 300 points just because you guys tuned in. But you know what? Like I've been saying, any dip is a gift at this point. I would not be surprised. We shoot right back up to 99.8. You know what? That's on Friday when we left, in the afternoon or at nighttime. And yeah, it was like nighttime on Friday. Look at how close we were. We got 99.8. We could not break through that point. Man, it was so close. It was so close. Anyways, I would not mind if we just stick around here for a little bit. I know a lot of you guys just want us to shatter through that and just go sky high. But you know what? If we just hover here for this remainder of this week, it'll be good, because you know what? We're seeing a lot of crypto projects, a lot of alts starting to come up. That's great. But you know what? Hey, if we come back up, break through this, that's quite all right too, because we got guys like Michael Saylor that can't help himself and continues to buy more and more and more Bitcoin. And you know what? That supply shock that I've been talking about is certainly real. So today, the U.S. market is opening up very green, plus $400 already. NASDAQ plus 150. Let's see. MicroStrategy, wow, opening up in the red today. Let's see if that is going to turn. Minus 2% right now. I'll get to what Michael Saylor just reported like 30 minutes ago. But overall, this week is looking like it's going to be pretty good. Trump just announced a big appointee, I guess. Treasury yield fall. That's always good. When Treasury yield falls, that means confidence in the markets are restoring. Usually when Treasury yield goes up, that means confidence is falling. So confidence coming back. That's why the market's going up. And that's because he has chosen this well-known hedge fund executive, Scott Bessent, for the new Treasury Secretary. I think anyone is better than Janet Yellen. I don't think anyone actually likes Yellen. But anyways, this guy's, he just looks like a good guy. He just looks like a stud, if you ask me. Anyways, I guess he's a very well-respected guy among Wall Street, among hedge funds guys. And a lot of people likes him as a appointee. So restoring confidence to the market already. So that is what's driving up the markets today. But overall, I think it's Thanksgiving week and people are just feeling good, about taking a break and all that. And, it's looking good. But you know what? Going into December, we do have another big FOMC meeting with another rate cut coming up. It's still about 55%. So we got more than 55% chance, or more than 50% chance of another rate cut, which I think is going to happen. So another rate cut. And Trump is making all the right appointees right now, especially all the pro-Bitcoiners and pro-business and pro-economy and pro, pro-growth. Seems like it's all in the right direction. And here's another one, too, that's pro-crypto. The recent pick for the Commerce Secretary is trying to come up with a project that allows people to borrow against their Bitcoin. And they're working with Tether to do so. So that's pretty new. So I don't know what the details are, but supposedly it's a $2 billion project that they're working with Tether so that people with Bitcoin could then, go and put down their Bitcoin as collateral and borrow against it. I don't know if that means that you're borrowing USDT or you're actually borrowing, cash, because Tether probably has loads of cash right now, right? But it is being talked about. I mean, again, and this is someone that is picked for the new Commerce Secretary position. So again, it's like everyone that's being picked is very, very pro-crypto, right? And imagine if this actually becomes a thing. I don't know if this is, it sounds like it's a side project, but if it actually becomes layered in as some kind of like official like government program, because now the US is going to make Bitcoin part of a strategic reserve. And if this actually becomes a government program that you can actually, put down Bitcoin and borrow cash by doing so, and this is actually like an official program that the US government supports, and it's somehow backed by, I don't know, FDIC or something, that would be nuts. I can't even compute that in my head. Imagine if that was the case, right? And banks, you could just walk into a bank and do so. Now you could like deposit your Bitcoin and be insured by FDIC insurance, even though that goes against the self-custody thing that all Bitcoiners like. But imagine if that was the case, how much more people, regular folks, would actually trust Bitcoin if that was the case, that you could deposit your Bitcoin in your bank account and have it be insured by FDIC. That would be nuts. That would be really nuts if you think about it. But anyways, outside of that, Tether mints another $3 billion in stable coins. FOMO's building. It's really building everywhere. Whales, obviously. I've been talking a lot this weekend. I did the crypto cruise, Sunday walk. Been talking about a lot of various crypto projects pumping up right now, right? A lot of whale activity, obviously, right now, right? I don't think it's like all these like retail people jumping in right now, like FOMO from retail. No, I don't think it's retail FOMOing. It's really whale activity. Like whales, dormant whales from 2021, they're starting to spend their massive amount of USDT. Also, maybe new whales that's coming in, right? We're seeing a lot of new USDT being minted. I think there's a lot of whale activity going on. They're picking and choosing some of the winners from the previous cycles. That's why we're seeing a lot of the good ones. And I'll talk about some of them that have started moving this weekend. I think we're starting to see that. That's why I mentioned it, a lot of them yesterday. And that's good. That's good. We're starting to see a little bit of excitement once again in a lot of the crypto altcoins from prior years. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of USDT, a lot of Tether movement recently. So good overall. Good overall. And that doesn't mean it's all going into altcoins. A lot of it could be going to Bitcoin as well, right? So we just don't know. But yeah, it makes sense that it's going to both. But going to this big historic buy, Saylor likes to say that he likes to buy a top. And he's going to buy a top forever. And this was a top buy. So yesterday he tweeted this out that we need more green dots on the Saylor tracker, which of course tracks all his buys, right? And you know, in crypto winter, this was a thing because in crypto winter, every time he bought, Bitcoin would tank, right? Every single chance. Jason Media, even though that's a large super chat, I'm not going to check that meme coin out. That's just a silly, silly name. No, I'm not going to check that out. It's probably like it's after Chill Guy, right? I'm assuming. But anyways, so, you know, it's a thing for him. He even like, he embraces it now that he's always going to be buying tops forever. And obviously now that we're past crypto winter, it doesn't matter, right? As we're going up, it doesn't matter if he buys at top because the price will keep going up forever, right? So he just announced that this happened and it is a huge buy. I have no idea. Like, he's been raising money left and right, but where did he get another $5.4 billion? No idea. He just raised $2.6 billion, but $2.6 billion is not $5.4 billion. So where did this come from? He's just getting money left and right from nowhere. I don't know. And he just purchased $3 billion worth of Bitcoin like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. He's getting billions from nowhere, out of thin air. So he just purchased 55,500 Bitcoin, $5.4 billion approximately, and he purchased at an average price of $97,862, which is a little bit higher than where we are right now. So, you know, he brought his average price up by a lot. His average price was in the 30s. Now he brought his average price up to 56,761 because he's been purchasing like a madman recently. But it doesn't matter because we know Bitcoin's going to go a lot higher. He knows that too. Right? Eventually we're going to break the 100K mark. We're going to go to 140, 180, 200,000, and eventually into a million. So, you know, the top indicator does not matter. But, yeah, he's just buying like a madman. Now he holds 386,000. He's really catching up to BlackRock very fast. At one point, it seemed like BlackRock was going to win this race. Obviously, BlackRock is different because it's the ETF. It's a combination of their own buys and everyone else's buys. This is different. This is just his own company, right? Just buying himself, raising money, raising debt to buy. So it's a little bit different than BlackRock. No, it's very different than BlackRock, but it doesn't matter. He just go keep on buying. Yeah, it's just going nuts. And he's been doing a lot of interviews. Everyone's talking about MicroStrategy. It's just like non-stop buying, and he will continue to do so forever. Just a madman. And it's estimated that he's going to take over 4% of the entire supply over the next decade, which is quite a lot if you think about it. Right now, he has over 1%. The way he's going to own 4% in the entire supply. So this raises an interesting question, okay? Even though all of us in the Bitcoin community love Saylor, right? We love Saylor because he's the ultimate Bitcoin bull and he's the new Bitcoin Jesus, right? And we know that he's never going to sell. But, you know, one of the thesis of Bitcoin is decentralization. But we're getting to a point where this one man and one company holds more than 1%, and eventually he's going to hold 4%, right? Is that really a good thing? One has to question, right? Eventually, are the Bitcoin maxis going to turn on Saylor and say, hey, he holds too much himself, right? I haven't heard that yet. I haven't seen any maxis actually turn on Saylor until recently when he went against the whole self-custody thing, which he backtracked. Like that was like a major thing because I think he was trying to sell MicroStrategy very hard. That's why. But still, you know, like this whole thing, when one entity holds so much of the supply, that goes against the decentralization nature of Bitcoin, right? I haven't heard anyone go against that yet, but we'll see. But it's the same thing, what I said about BlackRock. Everyone's cheering about BlackRock buying so much. Eventually, when BlackRock takes up 4% or 10% of supply, that's not going to be a good thing. It's good for us right now in an interim because it's going to cause a supply shock and cause the price to skyrocket. But doesn't mean that it's good in long term, right? That means, yeah, they're going to be controlling a large supply. But in the meantime, you bet on Bitcoin, you bet on MicroStrategy. They're both going to go to the moon. So long term, winners, 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 winners. Here's an interesting thing. Someone has been buying $30 worth of Bitcoin daily for the last 8 years. So this is what DCA, this is the ultimate DCA the ultimate DCA portfolio. Someone that's been DCAing just $30 daily, which all of you guys could be doing. $30 daily, right? This is not something, if you just skipped out on a couple of lunches, you skip out on ordering Netflix or going to a movie or whatever. He turned $86,000 from his last 8 years into $1 million, right? Just by DCAing $30 daily for 8 years. That is amazing, amazing. That doesn't mean that you can't doing the same thing. If you did $30, even though Bitcoin is at close to $100,000, if you did $30 every day for the next 8 years, it could still be the same. The way we're going now, with the supply shock happening, for the next 8 years, you could possibly still see the same kind of return. Maybe not the same, but who knows? Who knows? With all the institutions coming in, it could be the same thing. It could be the same thing. That's actually amazing if you think about it. It's not an altcoin. It's not some meme coin. It's just Bitcoin. Just DCA into Bitcoin. It's crazy if you think about it. It's really crazy. All right. Now, moving on. What else is there? Fundamentals of Bitcoin. Hash rate. All-time high. In fact, it really pumped up recently. So the miners are still mining. They're still increasing their hash rate. So as a network, it's only getting stronger and more secure and more decentralized, which makes it even better. So in terms of a network, it's priceless. Many people don't think about it and don't really care. But ultimately, the Bitcoin network is priceless. Kind of like, I don't know, if you have to price something out, like the Mona Lisa, why is it priceless? Because there's only one of them and you can never recreate it again. The Bitcoin network is the same way. You can't recreate it again because no government will allow another network to exist because they will just shut it down. But all governments around the world have just accepted the fact that the Bitcoin network is around now. No one is trying to shut it down anymore. It's like too late, right? So now that they know the network is around, they have accepted it, and they're not going to allow any other network to exist like it. That in itself is priceless. So if you think about that from that perspective, Bitcoin is worth infinite because no one else can recreate it. Tech companies like Meta have tried. They tried it with, what did they call it? Denim or Diem. And it got shut down immediately, even before they started. So if you think about it that way, Bitcoin network itself is priceless because you can't replicate it. And that's crazy. That's priceless. But most people don't think about it that way. But it really is. That makes Bitcoin worth infinite. But before we get to infinite, VanEck reissues the 180K price target for the current market cycle, which to me is very, very, very low, conservative. We might hit 180K like by February or March timeframe. We might hit 140K by the end of December, which makes the 180K price target look very, very, very conservative. The way we're going, we could hit 140, 150K by December. It's just really, really low estimate. We have seen huge estimates from others that, I mean, there are some estimates that are coming out that like we may be hitting $1 million by the end of 2025. I think it's unreasonable to think that, but there's more and more like theories about how bullish 2025 will be, and because of the supply shock, you know, there's going to be crazy FOMO happening. And you know, the scenario I've talked about, how the ETFs, when they start buying from the OTC market and the OTC market dries up and the exchanges and miners have no Bitcoin to sell to them, what's going to happen? The price starts skyrocketing, right? And their strategic reserve starts happening, and other countries start FOMOing in. So what's going to happen? Prices start skyrocketing. There's so many scenarios that are theoretical right now. If they all play out like how I think they could in 2025, if they all come true, these scenarios will pump Bitcoin up to the moon in 2025. So that's why a lot of these like crazy theories about how Bitcoin could go up to 1 million in 2025, although unlikely, there are paths where it can happen. Even though unlikely, there are paths where it could. So who knows? That's why yesterday, if you guys watched my Sunday walk video, if you guys haven't watched it, you should. That's why like a lot of people are like asking about, well, is this time to switch to alts? I'm like, yeah, I'm not so sure. Anyways, so as for the current movement, obviously we're going in the same direction as previous cycles, right? We're kind of moving the same direction, but kind of not. Like, we're breaking out, but are we going to break out in the same way as before? Probably. But are we just going to keep on shooting up forever? And we're going to have a super cycle and never stop? There's a probability that could happen. We'll have corrections along the way, but unlike previous cycles, maybe we don't have a top and we just keep on going, right? Previous cycles, we have a top and then we come back down. 2 years of crypto winter. Maybe this time we don't. We go through 2025 and we just keep going. 2026, 2027, 2028. We just keep on going. Maybe we don't have crypto winter anymore. Are these institutions going to sell everything at the end of 2025? I don't think they will. And is the US, after adding Bitcoin, as a strategic reserve, is the US going to dump Bitcoin after 2025? No, it's not. So there are, again, a lot of scenarios that's going to happen in 2025 that's never occurred before in previous cycles. So that makes me even more bullish about Bitcoin going forward, right? It just makes me not want to sell any Bitcoin at all, even at the cycle top this year. It's going to be very interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. Now, as for alts, right? A lot of people are waiting for dominance to come down, right? Dominance to go down and then alts to go up. That's what everyone's waiting for. And I do think money is going to flow into alts. And, at some point, I think dominance maybe for Bitcoin comes down a little bit, right? Will it come down greatly like previous cycles? Again, I'm not so sure. Maybe not like previous cycles. Because all previous cycles, guess what? Bitcoin was led by retail. This time around, it's not led by retail. But the good thing is, there's still plenty of money out there. We're definitely seeing a lot of Tether out there move into altcoins. We're seeing new Tether being minted, move into altcoins. That's why we are seeing a lot of alts come back to life, right? So this is showing like a lot of the the peaks, the market cap of alts, and we see how the alts market cap always goes back up every single cycle. The last cycle obviously was higher than the peak of the previous cycle. So this time around, of course, it should be higher than the previous one. I think that's right. It will definitely be higher than the last one, right? And yeah, we're going to have a lot of exciting things. So like today, I noticed, and maybe a lot of you guys noticed that, like for example, Avalanche really started moving. And that's because they have something new called Avalanche 9000, which basically, Avalanche is a layer 0, in case you guys don't know. Avalanche is basically a base layer, layer 0, and all their like dApps on top have their own layers, layer 1s. And Avalanche 9000 is basically introducing a messaging layer so that all the layers on top of Avalanche can now talk to each other and share liquidity. So that's what Avalanche 9000 is all about. So that's kind of cool. So they're making it so that, for example, what is it? DeFi Kingdoms and Gunzilla and Shrapnel and anyone else can now talk to each other and share liquidity as if they were like one major chain. So right now they're like all silos, but pretty soon they'll all be able to like talk to each other. So that's the whole point of Avalanche 9000. But you know, they've been very stagnant recently up until about like this weekend, and they really started moving, right? So it's good for them. But besides Avalanche moving, I did mention a lot of the oldies from 2021 started moving. So you see Avalanche moved up about 9%, but I did notice Chainlink also started moving up. A lot of you guys love Chainlink. Ask me about Chainlink. Oh, what's going on, Chainlink? Why is it so slow moving, right? Chainlink is also one of those in RWA play. It's an RWA play, biggest oracle, but I've always said this. It's kind of like Cardano. It's like it's just really slow moving until it just moves all of a sudden. Chainlink is another one that just kind of came back to life. Other stuff, ICP, which I do not like at all, just started moving. You know, just like a lot of stuff from 2021 just started moving. Uniswap started moving 12%. Arbitrum started moving 10%. You got Stacks finally moving 10%. So you just got a lot of randomness. Injective, I mentioned about like Cosmos stuff. They probably would be moving because we haven't seen it. Injective was one of the ones that made great moves last year, up about 7%. So you got a lot of 2021 plays. And metaverses, I mentioned this yesterday. Sandbox and Decentraland, all of a sudden, both blew up 30-something% for no reason. See, this is what I'm talking about. Whales are now starting to just put money in random things in 2021 that were hot. And they're just like trying to experiment, like, or getting ready for kind of like the mini altcoin season. So we are seeing we're definitely seeing like kind of like money being thrown around out there. So we're seeing like random pockets of coins being lifted up, which is good. But still, overall, they're still way off from their, most of them are still way off from their like 2021 high, which is good, which is still good. That means there's still plenty of time to load up on them. All right. As for Bitcoin, looks like we're having a little bit of dip, which is great because what have I been saying? Any dip at this point is a buying opportunity. And I actually really enjoy these dips because I've been telling you guys, I've been trading myself, and trading's not for everyone, okay? I've just been sharing it because I've been doing well and I've been doing it. Doesn't mean that you guys all have to been doing it, but like these kind of dips, man, you know, these are kind of dips that you make a ton of money when you trade. So I enjoy these dips, And plus, they're great buying opportunities. So you gotta retrain your brain when you see dips, especially at this point when we're in our 90s. Okay, for Bitcoin, don't see it as like, oh my God, we're not at $100,000. Okay, why are we going down? No, you gotta see it as, oh my God, we have another opportunity, another day to buy cheap Bitcoin or cheap alts. That's really how you got to think about it, because trust me, once we go past 100,000, and that day is going to come soon, we're just going to take off. We're not going to come back down. Just like when people were complaining about the 60s, where are those 60 days now, right? They're gone forever. So it's just like, while we're here, enjoy it, because once we go to hundreds and 110s, 120s, we're going to wish that we stayed here in the 90s longer. So enjoy the time that we have here and take advantage. Take advantage. All right. Sorry, I missed a lot of super chats, so I'm going to get to it now. Let's do some Q&A. Let's see. All right, I got that. Got that fixed. Oh, I was in mute. I hate it when I'm in a mute and I'm on the roll. Okay. I was answering super chat about like paper hands complaining that we're dipping. First of all, we're at 95. Okay. And if we dip more, great. Again, any dip is an opportunity. Anyone complaining that we're dipping, you need to retrain your brain into enjoying dips. I just got done saying, once we get past 100K, you go wish we stayed in the 90s, and you go wish we dip more. After we got into the 90s, which was what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we never dipped. We've been in the 90s forever now. We never dipped out of it. So any dip that we have is great. And as a trader, I love it, because now after we dip, on the way up, you can make a ton. That's awesome. Volatility makes you a lot of money. But here's the thing. Like I just got done saying, you got to retrain yourself to think dips are good, because I don't know if you noticed, to buy Bitcoin is stupidly expensive now. To even buy 0.1 Bitcoin takes $9,500 to buy 0.1 Bitcoin, right? So dips are our friend. Dips are gifts at this point. Stafford, any idea who's selling so much that seems to overwhelm all the buying? Again, it's irrelevant. Irrelevant. What's relevant is how much money do you have? So are you able to buy these dips, and how much of it are you able to buy? Mari. Like, seriously, the question should not be, there should be no questions like, why are we dipping? Why are there people not allowing us to go above 100,000? Who's selling at this point? Those questions are irrelevant. The questions should be the ones that you ask yourself. How much money can I save? How much money can I keep on the side so that I can continue to DCA? And how much money do I have to continue to, load up on the alts or load up on crypto or whatever, right? Like, it's irrelevant to ask, like, why are we still here? Or why are we not going up? Those are questions that are irrelevant to ask. OPSR, you're telling me, George, that you're not taking profits right now? No. No, I'm not. I'm following the Saylor strategy. I'm only buying more. Why would I take profits at 95,000 when I know for a fact that in December we're going to end a lot higher? It makes no sense. Why does Bitcoin go down and Michael Saylor bought 5.4 million? Because it does. Doesn't mean that it instantly brings it up. Just keep in mind, whenever Saylor buys, it's never on like spot Bitcoin. It's always OTC market. That's how it happens. So none of his buys ever pumps Bitcoin. He does it on purpose. He wouldn't want to buy and pump Bitcoin because that would be silly. That makes it more expensive for him to buy. He buys OTC. So he calls Coinbase. He's like, I want to buy 5.4 billion behind the scenes. And they're like, okay, this is how much, you could get for 5.4 billion. And they transfer it behind the scenes. It's not like he's logging into Coinbase and like setting buys at 5.4 billion. If he does that, it would drive Bitcoin to like $200,000. And then he would get way less than he should. That's why. NMCT, sorry I missed that super chat. Big move on Solana. Jupiter leverage liquidity is at zero, constantly at zero. What does that mean? Like liquidity on what? Solana retraced a little bit after hitting all-time high. It was like 260 something. Now it's at 240. Still not bad. If you're looking at like the 1 hour scale right now, right? RSI is dirt low at 27. That's looking actually pretty juicy in terms of a pickup location. So, not bad. It's actually a pretty good DCA opportunity right now. It's like a 10% dip from the top. But again, should anyone be panicking over right now? No, because again, it just broke through its all-time high. K-Jam, I missed your super chat. It disappears. Sorry, I can't see it. You have to just say it again. Julian, I don't think you could buy OTC. Those are like for mega whales like Michael Saylor. Now, yesterday, by the way, so on my normal X, right, I have a lot of great things on my normal Twitter, my normal X, so you guys should all follow it. But I do have another X called Alpha First. So I'm going to post a lot more like kind of like what I see and some of my trades and wins. So yesterday I had some great I had a really great trade on Stellar. It seems like Stellar have slowed down, but I'm gonna still go try to trade it. But I'm gonna try to trade some others. But like yesterday, I saw Stellar. It fell down like right around like the 50 cent mark. I made a great trade all the way up to about 60, and then it went retraced down. I thought it would go come back up, but because of today, it went down more. But I am going to probably trade Stellar back up. But a lot of things like XRP have retraced down, and like ADA and some of these others have retraced down because of today's dip. But I'm going to ride a lot of these back up. But anyways, if you guys are interested in some of these trades, I'm going to be doing a lot of that today. So make sure you follow it if you're interested. I'll put the link in my description. I'm not sure if I have that in the description. Liquidation heat map. Yep, let me get that up. Let's see here. Ooh, we got a lot of longs liquidated today. 21 million, 20. Yeah, we got a lot going all the way down here. Over here, like we got like 8, 10, 12, 10, 9, 8. We got a good amount. But on the top side, like 99 has 23, 24, 19, 100,000 has 13. So there's a good amount on both sides. Oh, MicroStrategy is down 5% today. Another good buying opportunity. The U.S. market is actually doing pretty good. Today overall is a good day. Actually, it's bad for tech. It's not just MicroStrategy. It's just tech being sold. NVIDIA is down 4% too. I think today is just like a tech sell day. Robinhood is doing good though. Tesla's down too. So I think today's just a tech sell-off day. So Wall Street, for whatever reason, is selling off tech, including Bitcoin, which is a stupid mistake. They're selling off everything tech. Well, good for us. Again, any dip right now is a gift. Honestly, some of you guys may not understand that, but you will. You will, because we'll shoot right back up in no time. And those of you guys that took advantage of the dip, you'll enjoy it. Those of you guys that didn't will regret it and ask, well, should I buy now at 99 or 100,000? A girl asked, how many Bitcoin do you have? FOMO's real. You know what? Recently a lot of people have asked me how many Bitcoin I have. So I could relate to you, Michael. People just like casually think like that's like a common thing that people should share. It is not a common thing that people share. It's like people going up to people and asking, well, how much money do you have in your bank account? Like as if that's a casual thing that people share. These are all looking pretty juicy right now. Like on a 1 hour scale for Bitcoin, right? We just had that down wick right there at 94.5. And we, you see how that we had a down wick and we just kind of quickly recovered to 95.4. I think that's our low point for today. You could see how on the 1 hour on RSI, we cleared at 28 and now we're coming up. I think that's our low point of today. I honestly think now for the rest of the day, we slowly creep back up. And almost every alt you see has that green turnaround point. Except Sol, but still Sol. You see that? You see how Sol had that major drop right there to 234. Now it's at 240. That scam wick right there was meant to liquidate all the longs. And now it's right back to 240. This, like, if I was not streaming right now, I'd be throwing all my longs right now. This is the point I'll be throwing all my longs right now. This is how you make money. Mari, I sent 3 super stickers. Did you get them? Thanks for keeping us rock solid. I did. Thank you. I saw them all. Thank you. Girls rather have Taylor Swift tickets. I'm sure they would, yes. Low Sly. I start out with a couple $100 up since election day. DJ leverage, I'm almost up 40K. Wow, that's crazy. Good job, man. Good job. Just be careful with the leverage, man. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Like yesterday I was like, sometimes you win really fast and sometimes you lose like really fast too. Yesterday I was like up really fast. I was up like 30K within a matter of an hour, and then I was like down 50K then the rest of the day, and then I made up like the 20K at the end of the day. Sometimes just like wild swings, but you gotta like eye it and set some good stop gaps sometimes. Can you look at OSMI, same node team from Gala, building uncensored node sale today? Yeah, see, I'm not going to look at that because of what you just said, because there's a node sale today. So it's like you're trying to get me to look at something that is like launching. So like you want me to shill it, so I'm not going to be looking at that. Sorry. Michael, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Billy says, you just bought my house with Bitcoin. We move in tomorrow. Did you pay with Bitcoin? That'd be crazy if you did, but congratulations. Congratulations. That'd be awesome. A lot of people are probably going to buy their house with Bitcoin this cycle. But that's crazy. That's good job, man. Good job. You missed my super chat. Who's richer, Elon or Saylor? Well, of course, Elon is still richer. Saylor's not that rich yet. Maybe like end of next cycle, if Bitcoin actually does get to like $1 million, then it'll be pretty close. But I think Elon will still be richer. Elon's like beyond rich. If you count the valuation of SpaceX and his portion of it in there, he's extremely wealthy. Elon's probably worth like 500 or 600 billion dollars. His tally right now doesn't count what SpaceX is worth. It's only counting what Tesla's worth. But SpaceX is valued at like 300, 400 billion now. And I think he owns like 25% of that, at least, if not more. Myra will be Gala this season. Myra's not a new project. It's been out for a while. Yeah, I remember looking at this project. L2. You know, gaming just isn't that hot. That's the thing. Gaming is not that hot. You know, I think I did something with Myra earlier this year. I'm pretty sure I have. It looks so familiar. Well, they have a NFT marketplace. They have a good number of games. You know, my question about all these like gaming like platforms is how many people actually play these games? Like, I'm not a gamer myself, so I don't know. Like these games, right? Like, how many people actually go on here and actually play these games? I like to know the stats. Because if it's just like 1,000 people on here playing, that's not impressive. But if they have like 100,000 people on here playing, that's impressive. But I just don't know. I have no clue how many people are actually playing their game. As for other things like FDV is like double of what their market cap is. Their token unlock. Their token unlock is not that good. They're going to have a ton of token unlock before the end of the year. Not a ton, but it's a significant amount in 2025. Not the worst, but not the best either. All right, let's see here. Joey, if we never sell our Bitcoin, can we ever get yield on it while not giving up custody? Is that possible? I feel like banks will beg us give up yield. I know the Project Core has a pretty unique way of giving yield without you giving up on it. You can still get yield by doing a time lock in your wallet. Look that up. I don't know how it works exactly, but you could do so with the time lock with the Project Core. They're the only project I believe you could do that with. So, yeah. And it's really innovative. You don't have to, the Bitcoin doesn't have to leave your wallet. That's the thing. It's not like you're transferring it out. It stays in your wallet. You just have to lock in your wallet for X amount of time. So that's the only project I believe you could get your yield from your Bitcoin. Benki. I remember this project. Pretty low, 85 million on Avalanche. DeFi, staking. Liquid staking. Okay, liquid staking project on Avalanche. Okay. Not bad. That's not bad. Unlock's not bad. On Binance already and Coinbase. Okay, I like that. I like that. They're on the two biggest exchanges already. Unlock schedule isn't bad. All time looks horrible. But because it's on Coinbase, it's a good chance it could come back up. Avalanche stuff isn't all that hot, but there's a chance. The company travel, I actually like this because Coinbase stuff actually has a really good chance of pumping and sending to Binance. So this could be a good candidate for a good pump for this cycle. Yeah, Bitcoin's coming up. I think that's it, guys. 94.5, that's our low of today. I think we're going to just recover from here. I really do. That's actually a prime opportunity, I think, for today. Supra TGM 27th, okay. Fat Kernel for the next year. Isn't there more potential upside to make profit on altcoins? You need to listen. Watch my Sunday walk video yesterday, and I'll explain perfectly why it may not be the case. What percentage should I be taking profits? I don't want to sell and miss out on more gains. I don't get that, Mari. What percentage? I don't get the question. Maddox on a good run. Any reason why? Whales are pumping it just because they don't want to miss out. Again, listen to my Sunday walk video. Go over Bitcoin dominance, give input. Again, listen to my Sunday walk video. Guys, it sounds like a lot of you guys missed out on my Sunday walk video. I explained all these things yesterday. It was a really good video, guys. I went in depth all these questions yesterday. All these questions. All right, I'm going to end it on that note. Yeah, today is a good buying opportunity day. And look at this. What did I say about MicroStrategy 2? Good buying opportunity. Just 5 minutes ago, so like minus 5%. Now it's minus 1%, minus 2%. It could end up in the green today, right? When it dips, it's a good buying opportunity. Those that panic over any dip, they're not going to profit. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, anyone panicking about 95, 96,000 Bitcoin, they're not going to profit from this cycle. They're the same ones complaining about Bitcoin being stuck in 60,000, and they're going to be the same ones complaining about Bitcoin being stuck at 90,000 Bitcoin, and they're going to be the same ones complaining about Bitcoin being stuck at 140,000 Bitcoin, okay? Don't be one of those people. Continue to do what you're doing. DCA, when you can, as much as you can, because it's going to get pretty darn expensive, guys. Any dip is a gift at this point. Just get that through your head. With Bitcoin, with crypto, with MicroStrategy, okay? Trust the method, trust the system. Continue to do what you're doing, guys. Stay strong, stay focused. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you follow me on X. A lot of good stuff coming. All right, have a good one, guys.